By 2 p.m., I was already at -6. 6 decisions that moved me backward, not forward. And the worst part? I didn't notice a single one. I thought I made good decisions. I was wrong. So I used a system. Every decision I made, all day, every day, got a score. +1 if it moved me forward. -1 if it didn't. No exceptions. No convincing yourself the bad ones don't count. Ate well, +1. Checked my phone instead of working, -1. Went to bed on time, +1. Said yes to something that wasted an hour, -1. Add them up at the end of the day. That's your score. The idea comes from a book called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. His argument is simple. Small decisions made consistently over time compound into something you can't ignore. Not big dramatic changes, not overnight transformations, tiny choices, every single day. And most people never see what those choices are actually adding up to. I wanted to. I actually built a tracker so you can run this experiment yourself. It's called the Decision Score System. 30 daily pages, weekly reflections, and a progress graph so you can watch the compound effect happen in real time. Link is in the description if you want to try it. Here's what the first day looked like. Day 1, 203 decisions, logged before 8 p.m. I had to double check that number. It seemed too high. But there it was. Not big decisions, tiny ones. What to eat first, whether to check a notification, which task to open, whether to respond to that message now or let it wait. 203, 61% made on complete autopilot, not chosen, just happened. Day 1 score, -6. 6 more decisions that moved me backwards than forward, before I'd even had dinner. By day 3, something unexpected happened. The tracking itself became exhausting. Suddenly, every tiny thing demanded conscious attention. Which shirt, when to take a break, what to click first. Things that normally ran on autopilot now required a decision, and making a conscious decision, it turns out, is much harder than letting the habit decide for you. By day 5, the temptation to quit was real. Not because the experiment was failing, because it was working. The data was showing things that were uncomfortable to see. 3 hours lost to tasks that didn't matter. 4 food choices made without thinking. 11 phone checks within an hour of waking up. I didn't expect it to be that high. None of those things felt significant in the moment. Written down on paper with a score attached, they looked very different. Hardy opens the book with a thought experiment. He says, choose between $3 million today or a single penny that doubles every day for 31 days. Most people take the $3 million, obviously. On day 10 of the penny strategy, you have $5.12. On day 20, $5,000. Still nowhere near $3 million. But on day 29, $2.7 million. Day 30, $5.3 million. Day 31, $10.7 million. The compounding was invisible for so long it felt like nothing was happening. And then suddenly, it was everything. That's the compound effect. And by week 2 of the experiment, the scoring data started showing exactly the same pattern. Something unexpected happened around day 10. The data revealed a pattern that had been hiding in plain sight. 87% of the negative scores, the minus ones, happened after 8 p.m. Honestly, this one bothered me more than the others because it wasn't random, it was consistent. Every single day. Not because of weakness, because of decision fatigue. By evening, the brain is running on empty, and empty brains take the easy option. Every time. Without the tracking, that pattern was completely invisible. It was just life, occasionally feeling a bit off, never knowing why. By day 14, something else happened that Hardy had predicted, but that still felt genuinely surprising. phone checks dropped from 43 per day to 28, without any intention to change the habit, just from writing the number down every day. Hardy calls this the awareness effect. You can't manage what you can't measure, but once you can see it, the brain starts self-correcting almost automatically, not through willpower, through visibility. 43 phone checks written in a notebook looks different to 43 phone checks that just happened. Hardy tells a story about 3 friends, same income, same city, same starting point. Scott makes one tiny positive choice every day. 10 pages of something useful every morning, a short walk after dinner, one small bad habit cut. Brad decides to enjoy life a little more. Bigger television, a few extra drinks, skips the gym when he doesn't feel like going. Larry does absolutely nothing different. No changes in either direction. None of these are dramatic choices. None of them would register to an observer. Fast forward 27 months. Scott's virtually unrecognizable, promoted, fitter, sharper, more energized than he's been in years. Brad is struggling. His health has declined, his relationships are strained, his confidence is low. Larry is exactly where he was. 3 people, almost identical starting points, completely different lives. Because of decisions so small they felt like nothing. By week 3 of the experiment, that story stopped feeling theoretical. By week 3, something had shifted. Not dramatically, not in a way that'd make a good before and after post, but the scores were changing. Average daily score had moved from minus 0.8 to plus 2.3. Evening negative decisions were down 34%. Morning intentional decisions were up 41%. And here's the honest part. None of that came from trying harder. It came from seeing. The eating while distracted stopped, not because of willpower, but because nobody wants to log another -1 for the same thing 2 weeks in a row. The mornings became protected, not from a new system, but because the data showed clearly where the best decisions of every day happened. The tracking didn't change the behavior. The tracking changed the awareness, and the awareness changed the behavior. That's the compound effect in action. Invisible for so long, you wonder if anything's happening, and then you look at the numbers. And the numbers don't lie. So what did 30 days of honest tracking actually prove? 3 things. First, you're not living the life you think you're living. You're living the sum of decisions you don't even notice. The version of yourself you carry around in your head. Disciplined, intentional, making decent choices is a story. The data tells a different one. And the gap between those 2 things is where your life is actually being shaped. Second, awareness is the only intervention that works without willpower. Phone checks drop by 15 without any effort to reduce them, just from writing the number down every day. That's not motivation. That's exposure. Seeing the pattern made the pattern uncomfortable enough to change. Third, the compound effect is brutally fair. Hardy writes, "Your only path to success is through a continuum of mundane, unsexy, unexciting daily disciplines, compounded over time." Mundane, unsexy, unexciting. That's not what anyone wants to hear. But it's also the most honest thing anyone has ever said about how change actually works. The compound effect doesn't care about your motivation level. It doesn't care whether you feel like it. It just adds up every single day. If this sparks something, the book is worth reading. It's short, practical, and reads like it was written by someone who's actually done the work. A link is in the description, and if you want to keep seeing experiments like this, real books, real data, real results, that's what this channel is for. Most people read the book. We test it. Honestly. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.